Welcome back. This is still the press on KAFTAN television, and like I said, we are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Well, right now I've been joined by a guest in the studio to help us analyze the headlines that are making rout on our national dealings this morning. And of course, it's not someone new to your screen. It's someone you have seen over and over and over time. And of course, one of your favorites, Richard Oriri, who is a public affairs analyst, joins me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Emelite.
Glad to have you. How was your weekend?
It was so fantastic. The weekend was nice.
Wow.
The weather was calm, cool, and no insecurity challenge.
Wow, yeah, we thank God. We thank God for that. Well, let me begin by saying the Rivers State local government election held 2 days ago. That was on Saturday. But before then, what do you make out of the conflicting orders between the state, federal high court and state high court? Or regarding the local governments or the political crisis that is going on? According to the state government said that local government election should hold, while the federal high court is saying that it should not hold, which is why the police has gone ahead to say that we are not going to be part of the local government election. So what did you make out of these conflicting orders?
The whole issue surrounding Rivers State local government election, and not just Rivers, across Nigeria, it's a challenge, serious challenge to democracy generally. Okay. And because in any democratic society environment, the police and the court, the key ingredients of democracy. And if there's any conflicting issue within the constitutional, anything concerning constitution, it is the judiciary that ought to come out openly, clearly, and without a bias, to give him fair judgment, as in to protecting democracy. Yes. But in a situation where anyone can go to court and get a judgment and get an order, interlocutory injunction, and all of that, then it seems like democracy is in serious danger, in crisis as well. And the police ought to be one of the key institutions of democracy that protects democracy, the state institution that protects democracy. And if one section seems to be having upper hand against the other, then as equally too, we are not having a fair environment where democracy can thrive. But in any case, if we are talking about one, we should equally be talking about the other one. And the other side of it as well is that if you are to have a fair environment where democracy is really in operation, what you see is where election is one of the key ingredients of democracy. And when the elections seems not to be free and fair, it means democracy too is not in order, is in danger as well. So what has happened in Rivers, one person we might be saying that the basic and the one firm office of the people of democracy, the people seems to be the highest office in the land. I mean, the highest office in the land is the office of the people, and that shows that democratic power resides with the people. And that was what has been shown in Rivers by the people coming out mass to electing who lead them, and that is one. But was the election free? Was the election fair? That is another question, because in a situation where a sitting senator could not win his own polling unit, and that doesn't show fairness. That doesn't show transparency in the process.
Where a sitting senator
could not win even his polling unit, like in the 2023 election.
Are you saying he's supposed to win his polling unit?
Yes, what I am saying is that in the 2023 election, APP was nowhere to be found. Nobody could hear APP anywhere. Yes. And in a situation where a sitting senator of let's say Labour Party or any representative of Labour Party could not even win one seat in Rivers, and this is a state where you see that it's only PDP and APC that distances itself from the election. But Labour Party participated, but Labour Party could not win even one councillorship seat in Rivers. In Rivers is one state that there was controversy over the presidential election. people were saying that Labour Party won Rivers for the presidential election, and in a situation where local government election that was conducted just how many hours ago, a Labour Party could not win even councillorship. There's serious concern about that. So we can be here talking about democracy. The people have choosing who they really want to lead them. But to me, and from what has happened in Rivers, in Benue, and other parts of the country that conducted election recently, there is nothing near democracy over what has happened.
All right. I'll come back to that. But before then, hello viewers. This is to remind you that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give your contribution or join the conversation. I love the fact that you said that the police are the key ingredients to democracy.
Yes.
Now, looking at what has happened in River, where the police has distanced themselves from doing what they're supposed to do in the local government election that just happened, would you say that, do you still believe in Nigerian democracy?
No, what
democracy is still strong?
I believe 100% in democracy. 100%.
But we don't seem to see it play out.
No. What is there is that democracy anywhere in the world is a process.
Okay. And
if you look at America, where we borrowed this democracy from, is British parliamentary system that we first joined in 1960. We started with British parliamentary system. And after within 6 months of our practice of parliamentary system of government, we switched over to American style of democracy. Okay. And these two countries that we have copied their system of governance. If you look at what is happening in all over both in US and in Britain, you will see that they are equally in the process of getting it right. No democracy, you can't get it completely right, and you say you have it 100% right.
Even so after 64 years.
I said, I am just giving you an instance. Nigeria is just 64 years. Yes. America, for how long? Britain, for how long? But they are still in the process.
But what
discussion, dialogue.
Democracy?
We have made so much progress. We have made so much progress. We have made so much progress.
Okay.
We have made so much progress. For having a democratic system to have been a kind of a transition of government from 1999 up to date, we have not had any situation where somebody truncates democratic elected person from assuming office.
Okay.
You were there when we were all alive when Jonathan willingly and sincerely handed over power to opposition party 2015. So there's no how anyone will say democracy is not doing well in Nigeria. Democracy,
or he was forced to.
He wasn't forced to. He was defeated, and he accepted the defeat and handed over power willingly and sincerely, patriotically, to the elected president, which was President Muhammad Buhari. So there's no how we will say we have not gotten it right. We cannot just be talking every time, throwing aspersion on democracy in Nigeria. We are doing quite we have not gotten it right. We are not getting it badly. We are trying our best. If you look at the conversation going on in America, you see that they have not equally gotten it right. See the manifesto of Donald Trump, and see the manifesto of Kamala Harris. You will see that they have not gotten it right. They are in the dialogue. For the people, the manifesto that they are reading out to the people now, we give them the direction, is giving them the direction of where the next government of America, the direction of the next government of America is what they are looking at now. And from the two, they will select which one is the best from their manifesto. So it's a discussion. Democracy all over the world is people dialogue and sharing opinions to see which one is the best to go with. So in Nigeria as well, we are equally discussing, and from what is a discussion that if you tune to different television channels today in Nigeria, even since yesterday, you will see the dialogue going on everywhere, and even beer parlors. You see Nigerians discussing this thing they are doing this way is not right. This is how it should be done. So the most important thing is how we will come together, conclusively agree that this part is the best part. But is our character showing that? That is another serious question. So what is really threatening democracy in Nigeria is our principle. I can call it a value system, individual lifestyle, character is one of the major issues that we are having, that we are seeing in Nigeria today, that is hurting democracy greatly. Individual, even you, myself, the way we think democracy to be, the way you see democracy is not the way I am seeing democracy. And different people see democracy from different angle. Some people see democracy as government just by the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. You understand? But democracy is seen from the angle of a process through dialogue. Equally, you dialogue. This person bring his opinion. This person bring his opinion. No person's opinion should be shrink. Then you put all the opinions together and see the best part to take. That is democracy. And democracy, when you are dialoguing, you are thinking about the good life of the people.
All right. Before I bring on my next question, let's quickly hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, KAFTANTV.
Oh, good morning. Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Maiduguri.
Mohammed from Maiduguri. Please go ahead with your thoughts.
Continuation of what you are just saying. You see, actually, last time former President Olusegun Obasanjo said, Nigerian democracy, until we get the type of Nigerian democracy that can carry the whole Nigeria together, it is then we will be celebrating democracy. As it is now, as well as a crazy demo or democracy, it's like that. Any power drum is flying all over. Anybody that grabs the position, my sister, he will make use of it to the fullest. Watch it.
Okay.
So what I'm suggesting now in a minute is that we are collectively, as people of this country, we should understand that if pot is boiling, no part of the pot will be cold. The problem we are facing in Nigeria today is touching everywhere. Where you are seated here, everywhere. So if we want to find a solution, we must look for internal solution by ourselves.
Okay.
As today now, nobody will be asking what is in your pocket. It's only you know what is in your pocket. So it is all of us. Calling for foreigners to come and intervene in Nigeria is not called for. Agricultural problem in Nigeria is agricultural problem of all of us. Let all of us look inward. We should stop carrying our resources abroad and go and borrow it again. These are problems that all of us is affecting all of us. Let's help us by ourselves. Honestly, nobody will come and help us. All this issue of direct foreign investment is a scam. Tell them it's a scam. How will they come and invest in you when you are carrying the good ones to them?
All right.
Let us help ourselves, please. Help us help Abuja people. Let us help ourselves, all of us, so that God will help us to let our country become better. If not, we will continue to be beating the bush. And only God will come back to the main road. Let God help us.
All right. Thank you very much, Mohammed, and have yourself a wonderful day. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
I'm Gideon calling from Lagos.
Oh, Gideon from Lagos. Please go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah. I think our democracy is working like the United States. Our democracy in Nigeria is really working. But the disadvantage of our democracy in Nigeria is that if they can remove one, let me give you number one.
Remove who?
What is attached to our own democracy in Nigeria? Number one, corruption.
Okay.
Number two, external influence. Like the World Bank to our policy enhancement. Number three, we the citizens, we should work on our judiciary. The judiciary is very corrupt.
Okay.
When the Federal High Court is giving a contradictory judgment over the state, they are promoting anarchy. I don't think the judiciary, they have a central meeting system where they have to agree and disagree and overview most of their judgments.
Okay.
And caution themselves.
All right. Please round up with your thoughts.
Instead of contradicting themselves.
All right.
Without those things I listed, I don't think democracy will surely come to materialize in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful day. Richard, I was going to ask, according to the results which was announced regarding the local government election that just hold in River State, it will say that APP wins 314 councillorship seats. And I'm surprised, PDP, APC, and among PDP and APC, APP came out with such huge amount of seats, win such amount of such number of seats. Are you concerned about that? Did you see that as a free and fair election?
That was what I just said. But the governor was strategic enough.
What was the strategy?
Yes, the governor was strategic enough. He saw that he was having problem already in his party. There was an internal wrangling within his party. And for him not to face too much legal battle, the best thing he does was to push his loyalists to another party. And he gave his support to them. And that is, if you want to check the constitution of the party, that is anti-party activity. By sponsoring your own loyalist in another political party. Abandoning your party is anti-party. That is one. And that is why most times some people I hear some people say that the major problem we are having in Nigerian democracy starts from the party internal party issues. Parties selecting candidates for the masses that will represent them as leaders. And in the process of the selection of candidates within parties, they are not transparent, and they don't. There's no element of merit in the selection process within parties. But whoever they have selected, few individuals within the party will choose that this is the person that will fly the flag of the party, even if that person is a convicted criminal. They can use the law. They can bend the law to make sure that the person remains in power. And at the end, we will not see governance. The only thing we see is maladministration. Then another problem again that we are having is that, like the caller from Edugri said, the real democracy that we choose to abandon was the real African traditional way of democracy. And I grew up in the palace with my father. When my father was district head of my community, I saw how democracy was operated under my father's watch. And in African traditional democracy, there is nothing like election, but there was selection. Yes, in every community. Every district.
Now, are you saying should it be an election instead of selection? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I am saying is that the African way of democracy, which I have grown up to meet in my community, every clan, every community, they have kindred heads. They have kindred heads that meet every 5 days with the traditional ruler of the community. And these kindred heads, they are not elected. You become a kindred head by your age. If you are the most senior from the family, you are automatically the representative of that family at the council. And the traditional ruler, the king of the community, is being selected by these kindred heads. They are the kingmakers of the community. Like the other callers talk about foreign interference. There is always foreign interference, even within Nigeria. Like in your community now, if there is going to be a selection of district head, of community leader, you see an outsider coming to interfere in the selection process, bringing politics into it, trying to see that their stooge from that community becomes the community leader, in order for them to make use of such person for their political benefit. And that is why we are having crisis in almost every community in Nigeria.
Now, sorry to cut you short. When you talk about political benefits, some persons are of the opinion that local government election should be taken away from state government.
No, that is nonsense. That is, there is no election at the state level.
That's what I'm saying, because they fear that the state governors will abuse the local government, but thereby putting someone who they can manipulate in the office. Now, do you think that's what played out in this just concluded Rivers State election?
Not just Rivers.
You just mentioned that Fubara pushed some had to push some persons since his loyalist to another political party, since his party was already having political crisis.
The party already withdrew from the election. If he had not pushed his loyalist to another political party to winning these elections, there is no how the election will hold, because there's no how the election that they have done now will stand the sound of time, because already the party withdrew from the election. If the party withdrew, who now fielded the candidate for the election? That was what he foresaw, and he now pushed his loyalists to another party so that it would be legitimate. But in the nutshell, all the elections conducted so far by state governors shows clearly that there is no need Nigerians waste their time and resources relying on RISEC, like Rivers, they call it RISEC, Rivers Independent Electoral Commission. Benue, they call it BISEC, Benue Independent Electoral Commission. In Benue State, the election was conducted on the 5th as well, on Saturday. Out of the 23 local government, APC cleared all the 23 local government chairmanship seats. And out of the 276 wards, APC cleared all the councillorship seats in the 276 wards. And this is a state where, like in my senatorial district, the senator representing me is PDP. Does it mean that senator cannot, even if he has no power, to even influence other councillorship election within the senatorial district? He was nowhere to be found to be able to even make sure that his councillor representing him in his ward from his party come from his party. How can? So that is, there is no election at the state level. So since we have already local government autonomy as declared by the Supreme Court, we should be total, because from the election of 2023, from the election from 1999, should be total in the sense that since there is local government autonomy, there should be a commission, federal commission, in charge of local government election conduct. Yes, because like what we have seen now happening at the state level, it's a sham. It's a sham and a very big slap on democracy. Now, if you see what INEC did from 1999, despite the complaint that they have not gotten it right, they seems to be the best.
INEC seems to be the best.
Yes, that's the federal INEC. So if you have election umpire from at the federal level, that will be in charge of local government elections.
Federal INEC to conduct local.
The body will be too much. The body will be too much. But if you look at it from the other side again, from the other angle, you see that the body will not be too much, because they have conducted national election before, and they have conducted this election in all the local government, all the polling units. So if separating local government election from federal INEC, it will equally be better, so that a commission will be established to take charge of local government elections in Nigeria, taking it off from the governors.
You have to hold it there while we hear from this caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Stanley. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Oh, Stanley from Kaduna. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Please, I think the main problem of Nigeria is that we prefer to build individuals, strong men, instead of building strong institutions. I sympathize with Fubara. You know why? Tell me one other state in Nigeria that the governor is not the leader of his own party, except Rivers, because of one strong man. You see, if Nigerians want our democracy to stand, let us kill fatalism. Let us abolish it. If you finish your term, get out. Allow any other person to be there. But instead of that, we are building strong men who controls every other thing. You see, even the INEC will not solve the problem. Because INEC now is manipulating everything in federal. If you give INEC another chance to come and do the state for local government election, then any governor that the federal did not like, they will manipulate that very election against the governor. Okay, you can imagine Nigerian police. The people say we don't want state police because governors use them against their opponents. Then what is happening with the federal police? So we'll abolish police entirely. See what the police, federal police and federal courts are using, how the federal government are using their own institutions against the governors they don't like. So Nigerians, if you want to go forward, let us kill these strong men and bring up federal strong institutions. If you want to stand on their own, both the courts, both the INEC, both anyone else, they can stand on their own. Then all those strong men will die. Then Nigeria will go forward.
All right.
Nigeria will succeed. Nigeria will succeed. In your time. Thank you and God bless you.
Bless you too and have yourself a wonderful day. Now, the people don't want state governors to conduct the local government election, and also people are, don't no longer have hope in INEC. So who now conducts the local government election? Who should?
No matter what, no matter the distrust, no matter the trust deficit between the people and INEC, federal INEC, and they have shown from time that they are a little bit transparent than this state independent electoral commissions.
Okay.
2023 election, just yesterday, look at National Assembly, the 360 members of the House of Representatives. They have over 9 different political parties in the National Assembly, House of Reps. They have Labour Party, they have ABGA, they have NNPP, they have SDP, they have all of them there. That shows a little transparency in our electoral process. So if at the state level, how many states conducted election last Saturday?
If you talk about
Benue conducted, Rivers conducted, Imo conducted, different whether Bayelsa or which other state conducted local government election, and you see that no other political parties will even councillor. How come?
Then when you're talking about being transparent,
the highest level of corruption, the highest level of criminality.
But we saw what played out in Edo State election.
Yes.
Concluded Edo State election, that's the governorship election, where we see that the result on the IRF is quite different from what is on the collation center. So how then? How much trust can we have?
At least, how many thousand votes that the APC candidate used in defeating PDP? At least you will see that there was an election. There was an election. This one, they will allocate vote to the other party, say 10. Then vote while they are having 1,000.
But we are concerned why there should be a different result on the IRF and a different result on the coalition.
You can't call. You are just speculating. You can't call it a different result. Have you seen it as a journalist?
I am
it's speculation. You are speculating. You don't have the facts. Have you gone to assess that's
the plight of the PDP chairman after the election.
The plight, that is hearsay. And hearsay is not admissible in court. But
there was facts with there was fact backing up his claims.
Which facts? Well, Richard, that can only be proven when they go to court, and court to force INEC to give them access to the IRF, this internet, how do they call it? Because INEC have 2 voters register. One is electronic, the other one is manual. If you say there is discrepancies between the electronic register and the manual register, then the court will give INEC order to allow you have access to this and cross-check. Until you do that, you cannot say.
All right. Now, before we move on to
until you do that, you can't say.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Wike. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay. Please go ahead with your thoughts.
First of all, I have to commend your guest.
Okay.
So, well done, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning.
So the issue about this local government election, I'll just bring my own opinion. Let me start from the River State, about the South River State.
Okay.
So tomorrow now, that if you see tomorrow now, that new party that won all the local government election, now tomorrow, not claim to be the winner of the governorship election tomorrow, that will be a problem. You see, all these politicians are saying, our governors, they don't have what it takes to be a governor. You see, there are people go and check the traditional, the way they impose emir, king, whatever, or not now. They are misusing that power. Every one of them, they are being selfish. So there's no way a state we have a body that conducts election that we have a perfect election. Next, as we are talking about, they've done this thing before. They've done it before, and like we're doing SDP NLC. We have NLC 1, we have NLC SDP 1. So I think if they cannot give us 100% of the results, but I think they still give us some percent, rather than giving us the woeful result this time around. What are these governors that they are looking for the people that they can trust? That the same thing we are complaining about looking at the local government, we still go back to that the same drawing board because that money will be coming back to them again. That is the problem we have. Nigeria, until we all go back and check ourselves, are we coming to serve people or to serve ourselves? God bless Nigeria.
Bless you too. God bless Nigeria. All right, have yourself a wonderful day. There is a headline here that says Abamoro tackles alias as APC sweeps Benue State local government election. And of course, I heard you make reference to Benue State, but I was going to ask how is it? Is this an election or is just it's just a kind of thing to do to favor or to be? There's a caller that called one time on the show and said APC is trying to make Nigeria one-man party. Do you agree with that? Because how come all the seats were swept by APC candidates?
It's no issue of APC.
It's issue of what?
Exactly? It's no issue of APC. All the political parties have the problem. Any state that is controlled by any political party, the same way. Go to Kano.
So should
hold on now. Kano is being led by NNPP. Local government election was conducted in Kano. Which other political party won even the councillorship? None. Bayelsa State is managed by PDP. It's not APC. Local government election was conducted. Which other political party won election? So it's about, just like the last caller said, these governors, they see themselves as a god. They don't even respect the masses. And the worst part of it is this state that you called Benue State. Right. This state you called Benue State. That is where I felt ashamed of myself for being a Christian. The leader of Benue State today, who is the governor of Benue State, Governor Hyacinth Alia, Reverend Hyacinth Alia, is a reverend father, for God's sake. He released 6.something billion for the local government election to be conducted to BSEC. There was nothing on ground to show that BSEC even used up to 200 million naira. No voters' education, no nothing. Even no training of any house staff, nothing. But at the end, they came up with the only thing I can say that they did was to print ballot papers, which I think was printed in Makodi there. Okay. So nothing, no sign to say there was election. So as far as I am concerned, the way the senator said, that is my stand as well. There was no election in Benue State. If you want to take democracy serious, the same process of democracy brought the governor to power. The same process brought him to power. And as a reverend father who have come to say, I want to change the narrative, he should have shown that character.
You seem to be disappointed in
the governor, yes. He was supposed to show different character, different narrative. This is how it used to be. But now, this is the new narrative. This is how God wants leadership to be selected. And this is how the process should be. How do we learn from him as a governor today?
And as a priest.
And as a priest. How do we learn? That is to say, he is in position to lie to the masses. Oh. It is completely lies. From A to Z, lies. He can't tell anybody that there was an election in Benue. He cannot tell anybody that the process that brought him to power as democratically elected governor today now is the same process that have brought all those people that he has sworn in now, the local government, 22 local government chairman that he has sworn in now, that is the same process that brought them to power. Not at all.
In other words, you're saying there's a huge rigging in the election that...
Not just rigging. No, there was no election. It's just pick them and say, come, let me swear you in.
Really?
That's all. Nothing. So, it's a shame. And the clergies, those who, the Christians, Catholic Church, should call him and ask him, question him. What you have done now is a slap and a disgrace to the Christendom. That is true.
All right.
Even in the Bible, Daniel, he stood his ground. He fears God. In every decision Daniel took in the Bible, he refuses to obey the rules of human rules that was against God. As a priest, he was supposed to stand like a Daniel. My sister, the way things are going, we rush to church. The way we rush to church is not the way, the speed we are using to run to heaven. It's a problem. It's not the speed we are using to run to heaven.
Let's quickly hear from this caller before. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Good morning, my brother in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Mazi Okorafo from Aruchuku.
Mazi
Okorafo.
You again.
My brother, don't say you're a chef of a Christian. No. You see, blaming the Reverend Father is not the issue because the Reverend Father did not conduct the election. What he said is the chief security officer. They have INEC state in the election chairman. The person that conducted the election. The Reverend Father cannot come and force Mr. A or B. Vote for A, B's vote. So pushing the whole blame to Christendom is not an excuse. Now look at what happened in Rivers State. Governor belongs to PDP, which everybody saw on television yesterday, which he pronounced it. You saw the people that want the election APP. What did they do? Did you see anybody carry election box around? Did you see voter party? Did you see a buying of votes? They did it because the people there knew exactly what they wanted 6-8 hours ago. So what are we saying? So give us that religion by the side. Nigeria's problem is that the poverty. Because of poverty, that is why you see people vote wrongly. Because of poverty, the government has crippled the whole situation where people don't see food to eat. If you get them, you don't give them 20 naira, they will go and do the wrong thing. That is why criminality is still increasing day in, day out. There is no government that can stop criminality in Nigeria because of the level of poverty. Now you are sitting there in the studio. Do you know there are people when you say that come and take 100,000 naira a month, do his country, come and do a proper, come and do cost to Yemen. They will go because they have not seen 10,000 naira for the past 1 month. That is the problem because unless we get poverty, unless we get criminality, that is the only way you can get what you call criminal. Now, do you see any security man? Do you see police or DSS or soldier going to follow the security box, going to follow the election box? No. People went there and put up for what they wanted. So that is a mentality. Our level of education is a problem. Illiteracy has ravaged this country. Unless we eradicate illiteracy, there's no way you can get the great election. Governor will see the security officer, his voice, compromise brother, we do the needful. Good morning, Mazi Okorafo, brother.
Mazi Okorafo. All right. Mazi, have a very wonderful
Like Mazi
Okorafo say you shouldn't blame the governor.
It's the same Nigerians that will say it. Let's say the president of this country now, he has the security power to elect all the 36 state governors in Nigeria.
Okay.
If he does that now, we will say it's poverty that have made Nigerians to vote for APC, all that 36 states of the federation. Is that right?
Absolutely.
If you are a governor and there is no other political party within your state that can win even councillorship, and then they say the president of the country equally want to use the same power against every other state, is it right?
It's not.
So we should not applaud evil. It's not right. It's not right at all. It's a wrong thing to applaud evil.
So do you feel like the Reverend Father Hyacinth, that's the governor of your state, is indirectly or directly working for the All Progressive Congress, that's the APC?
It's his political party. For now, it's his political party. But what has happened is that the people he wants them to be receiving the federation allocation and be equally still be bringing to him. They are the ones he has selected. The ones he thinks he can trust that will be bringing the allocation to him.
Yes.
They are the ones he has selected. The same thing happened in Rivers. The same thing happened in Kano. The same thing happened in Bayelsa. The same thing happened in Imo. All the states that have conducted election recently, the same thing happened because Supreme Court said there should be a separation of power completely. The local government should be independent, and the federation allocation should be going directly to them. The joint account shouldn't work again. So that joint account is still what they are using this sham called election process to pursue at the grassroots. Yes. Hold on. Yes, it's the same thing they are using to pursue at the grassroots.
Hold on a minute. Let's hear from this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Honorable Chris. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. Not political honorable. Let me remove myself.
All right. Okay, please. It's quite noted.
See, the election in Rivers State, local government election. I know why I distance myself from anything politics in Nigeria. I can't play politics in Nigeria. I'm a core Christian.
Not like a hazard.
So I don't think I can play the kind of politics they play in Nigeria. If I want to play politics in Nigeria, I will draw Bible. No Christian, no real Christian that would claim to be a Christian and still be in politics. Like what is going on with the Reverend Father, forget all those things. How can you doing that kind of election? How can you I have one close to me where I was living before. The food is there, polling booth is there. Through my window, any election I'll just open it. If you need anything they are doing, they want you to bring it for you. I capture everything. That is not the election. Where somebody will telling you, okay, press here. That one election. That one will be election. So all these kind of election that you see them conducting, like that in the one of Saturday, you know, everybody know what went wrong now. It's easy how to play politics. That is not how to play. That thing is not election. Being the one in Rivers State. Now tell me tell me that person that time they will go to APC under this kind of hardship. Beans, ordinary beans, where be poor man's food. It's close to two spoons, 800 naira for mama food. So who will go to APC now? We want people based on the good thing they are doing. So what is the good thing that they are doing that will make people to go to APC? Tell me. If not, tell me that thing that will make, is it the fuel 1,300 this morning now? Every day I have to buy fuel 1,350 naira. Are you aware?
I am very much aware.
Tell me what will make you to go to APC. Tell me, what's that that will make you to go to APC? How can they be doing that kind of a thing with their neck? It's better now. It's better. Everybody should be on their just carry it, go to this family. Let's turn it like that. This year, it will be family by family. This family is in a turn. This one is in a turn. How can only one particular party to clear the whole this thing in one state? That is not democracy. I have stopped anything concerning election in Nigeria until, as me and you now they talk, I can't deny you that I call your studio today. I didn't know. I can't deny it because I have your records here.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. All right, Richard, let's talk about this flood victim before we sign out. He says, although flood victims count losses, appeal for help. And now I kept asking this question: why is it that the government has to wait until this season comes before we start now running helter-skelter? It's not like this is something that is sudden. We know that there are two major seasons, which is the dry season and the rainy season. what happened to taking preventive measures during the dry season to avoid situations like this? Because now at the end of the day, we are talking about a economic crisis, and now due to the flood, you see that it has added to more loss of life and properties and livelihood stock. So how do we go about this flood issue to bring a permanent end to it?
Bringing permanent end to it is proactive measure. And the proactive measure in all the states where they have flood issues. Do
you think the government are taking any?
They are not taking proactive measure. Okay. In Nigeria, generally, our leaders don't take proactive measure. Even within our family circle, we find it difficult to take proactive measure until it happens. Before you see us running helter-skelter. All the states that have flood issues, they know what to do. Know what to do is to say those of them that are living within the riverine area, they should evacuate them. So give them another new settlement far from river bank. Then that within the river bank area where we normally have these challenges, you either state put fence, preventing every individual human being from living there. They can turn that place to another different, either orchard. You turn it to either orchard farm, or you turn it to a place where during when there's no much rain, cows can go there to feed and all of those things. You can use it for many things. You can use it for many things, growing grain and other things. You use it for it, but human being living there, state government should stop it permanently. And stopping it is to take decisive action, paying sacrifice by evacuating all the people living within the zone and giving them another new site. Government can build houses. Like the money they are using, let's say this flood now, federal government will assist the state, either 10 billion, 50 billion. That money, state government can equally add money to it, look for another open land, and build houses that worth about 7 or 8 million naira, either 3 bedroom flats. You give to this head count of the people living within these areas and relocate them.
All right.
And turn that place into an open land where no human being lives.
All right, thank you very much, Richard Oriri. But before we go, let's quickly see the social media trend. What is trending on the social media, where the spokesperson for the Labour Party has said that he is not ready to speak for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party again. Let's take a look at that. Well, you've seen it for yourself. Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a Nollywood actor and the spokesperson for Labour Party, is saying that if you know you are not fit for the job, step aside. And that's how I'll end it this morning on the morning show. Thank you for being with us, and for those of you that were unable to take your calls, we sincerely do apologize. We'll get some other time. You'll be lucky to call in and give in your contribution. Thank you so much, Richard Oriri, for coming. I really do enjoyed your analysis this morning on the show. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon again on the show. And at this point, this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's show on the press. Keep watching KAFTAN television until I come your way some other time. I am Emelite. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have yourself a wonderful week ahead.